Hey, how you guys doing? Okay, dokie. Let's do it to it. Let's see how we're doing. Alright, perfecto. I'm gonna do Tamura as white versus Ray Robinson as black. Knight F3, D5, Knight D5, or D4, Knight D4, Knight C6, C4, and C6, the Slav defense. Alright, hold on, let me guess. C6, knight BD2, F5, bishop E4, queen B3, queen B6, it's kind of interesting. He could potentially go more to a London system type of here, and then after takes, and he would have more positional play. And if they're here, he takes back, and then he's got an attack there, but he's got potentially E5 if takes, and Tamura could have that. They played there. Queen takes, knight takes, C2 to attack the knight. Bishop D2, and he had actually encouraged black to actually take, because then he opens up with an attack again, and this time with more attacking style. H6, G4. This is an interesting move. This is kind of one of those berserker type of moves that you can actually play, and also potentially come down via here. E6, rook C1, and now takes. Pawn takes, and then queen E7. Ray's trying to get basically to somewhat of a winning drawn position. Knight G2, and Tamura wants to actually get H4 going. A3. Which is kind of interesting too. H4 would be more towards the Simon Williams-Harry system, as I like to call it. And if here, he really can't take because of winning a piece. So I would kind of try to be more flexible. And this is a pretty flexible move. And he wants to actually play like E3. E3 kind of has a solid setup. E5, D takes E, knight takes E, and then king F2 to hold this pawn chain together. knight D, knight EF, knight E D7, bishop F3, and then castle kingside for Ray. Knight F4 is really strong. So I think the reason he played E3 was so that he could set up this formation. Knight C5. It's kind of interesting. Ray could have actually potentially grabbed that. And went after the rook. If Timur gives it to you, you can be assured it probably has some poison to it. And then in comes here, and after that, then in comes there, and it's like, ugh. And now we're setting up mate. So we have to come back down there. Our jam a rook there, so that's an interesting idea. H4, knight E6, G5. You gotta be careful when you let Timur actually get his attack going. It's like, wow. It's like a London system without the light square bishop in going. Ace takes. He takes. Bishop D2. Knight E6. Bishop takes knight. Pawn takes bishop H. King G. Knight takes check. Rook C, G1, King F7, and then bishop G6. I gotta say, this was a pretty amazing game, and this actually leads to a mate. Surprisingly. Hey Frank, how you doing? All right. Are we ready? We went over. All right. Let's give her a go then. Okay. Well, let's see what do we got here. And then I got a yeah, I was looking at that. But yeah, we got a. Did you see today Nakamura beat Jeffrey X, and he became the 5-time U.S. champion. So congratulations to Hikaru Nakamura. That's a night. Boy, I really thought that Dominguez was gonna potentially tie Naka for that, because I thought he might beat Timur, but he wasn't able to beat Timur. So, and Fabi drew and Dominguez drew, but Naka beat Jeffrey. I kind of figured that Fabi might actually draw against Sam. Sam's a really solid player, so think that he would beat him. Potentially, there was, I'd probably say a 70-30, 70% draw and 30% chance that he could beat Sam. I was thinking more of the other way for Timur, but Timur's really a streaky player. He sometimes when he wants to, he can play really solid and then hold on to his game like you would do with on your toenails. He's like unmovable. It's all which Timur that comes to play, as I like to say. Uh-huh. It's all about that. Let's see here. So, uh, yeah, I know. I was kind of curious about that. For a while, he actually was winning. So, yeah, I wanted to do the game between Nakamura and Jeffrey, but I couldn't. They don't have it posted yet because there's a actually Rook E6 move that could have thrown some chaos in the works for Jeffrey, but he actually played Rook B6 and I think it was, yeah, Rook B6 or B7. I forgot. I know it was on the B rank, but RB file. But what happened was he missed it, and that's what happened. And he yeah, that's actually that was pretty sad because he had a really good position for a while there. So 906, 906. Knight f6. King takes c3. Oh, okay. And then knight d7. Okay, that makes sense. You plug up the hole with your knight. Yeah, that makes more sense now. You don't have to go after the bishop. You just go for the queen and the pawn. Gotta keep that in my database of move sequences. But it was really an interesting, and of course, Jennifer won again. So congratulations again on her humongous streak of wins. Thumbs up. She's got a bright future in store as she pursues chess. I hope she does. She'll represent women's good in the United States, so that'll be nice. Who knows? Maybe someday she'll go for the world, and we'll have a women's world champion. Hey, anything's possible with the Lord. That's one thing I've come to realize. Oh boy, let's see here. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking potentially at bishop h6, then rook f8, and trying to get our pawn down the board. That's kind of an idea. I want to see if I can't force it down the board. So, because I really don't see this bishop takes, so bishop h6, and if bishop takes f2 check, it doesn't really scare us. All we do is go king h1, and there's nothing really to worry about. And if he tries rook, if he tries to do the rook move, he potentially could try the rook move. So bishop h6, rook takes f2, trying to exchange off via that way. And then we can actually play rook takes. Actually, we could take both ways, so that'd be funny. We don't have to move our king. You can actually just take rook f2 in that line, and I need to redo this line up here. I need to redo that line up there. You can actually, if you wanted to, you can win material with rook takes f2 as well in that line. It's same type of setup. So the first with the king h1, don't need to go king h1. Okay, I'm trying to think. Is it beneficial for us to trade off? I think so. We would actually come up a let me see, rook takes, hold on. Let me just make sure that I'm doing this right. Rook takes f2, rook takes f2, king takes f2, queen e2, check, and king g1 should lead to a okay position. We still have our bishop covering e3, so yeah, we should be fine with this move here. We could just retreat back to g1 after queen e2 check, because e3 is covered by 3 pieces, so we don't have really any problems there. And if black wanted, or if black wanted to trade off by going down to where we're 1 piece up, a minor piece up, I'd be more than happy to do that. Okay, dokie. Let me see here. I'm looking potentially at knight takes c6, check, b takes c6, queen takes c6, and let me see here. That's as far as I've gotten. Well, there is mate. When we if we can impute our queen to or implant our queen on c6 and rook b5, we do potentially have some sort of a mating idea. So I was just considering, is it mate though? Oh, wait a second. We do win. Oh, wait a second. Oh, hold on. Maybe I'm wrong. I think you're right. Queen takes c6. Queen takes c6. If b takes c6, then we have knight takes c6. Check. King goes to, let's say, c8. We have knight takes e7. Oh, wait a second. We're down material. We don't want to do that. That would be equal material. That wouldn't be good. No, no. We'd be we'd still be. It'd just be actually would it? Yeah, it'd be equal material. But we'd be down a queen, which would be our attacking piece. Kind of going more with an attack now. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm going right back into this here, and then queen takes c6 is a. The other line wins back the material, but we don't want to win back the material. Yeah, queen e. Actually, I think he'd play queen e7 at that point to try to go after the pawn. So queen takes c6, and queen d7 probably would be one of his playable lines. That'd probably be one of his playable move sequences. Yeah, that's basically the. Oh, queen e8. Oh, wow. He did go queen e8. Huh. I thought he would stay more. I thought for sure he would stay in contact trying to potentially attack our g4 pawn and kind of say, you know what, you have a weakness too, my friend. That's what I thought he might say. I didn't think he was going to do that. Wow. I guess, yeah, a6 does shut everything down, doesn't it? Whoa. Oh, that makes sense why he moved his queen. Duh. I should have thought about that. That gives the king a flight square. Oh, that's that. Yeah, that makes more sense. Queen d7 would set up actually for a mate after. Yeah, yeah. Queen a7 is actually, or a6 is, it's the, as they say, the net. You're setting a mating net, and then we mate with rook b5, but check. But then the queen would actually have to take. Queen takes b5, and then queen takes b5, check. It'd be something similar to that setup. That's actually the proper setup. I just want to see what the next move would be. He can't run. He might push the pawn. I'm curious on this one. Let's see. Okay, c5. Yeah, this is an interesting move I was thinking about. So rook d3 and then over. And then over. If rook d3, couldn't he play c... Oh, we can play rook d5 again and then slide over. Well, he does have king c7 at that point. Queen a7. That shuts down that, so potentially he has king c8. And maybe I'm thinking, oh, I'd love to have played this. So here, queen a6, then king a7 again. Let me see, rook d4. We don't mind if he retreats there. Rook d4 allows for taking on this point. If he pushes d5, he takes d, and we still have that. Okay, gotcha. I was just interested about that. Was interesting. Okay, dokie. Boy, this is a I'm pulled between king 4 or king h4. Either one of those. h2 doesn't feel quite right. Only h2 feels a little inadequate because of rook to h1, and then he stops. He wins our pawn. Oh. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Let me see. Okay, f4. Let's say king. Well, would he push with a4 and h2? We'll say rook h1, g3, a5. Or probably he'd have to play f takes g3, f takes g3, and then a5, g2, rook takes h2, and then g1 equals queen. So that might be an idea. But let's just say he tries to get his king involved here. That's if he tries to push the pawn, which wouldn't end up to any favor for him. f4, see king d3, h2. Let's see if we still have the same problem. Rook, rook h1, g3. F takes g3. I think we have the same sitch in that scenario that we take back. Yeah, I'm liking f4. So probably king h4 now. King d3, g3, king e4, g2, rook g1, h2, rook takes g1 or g2, and h1 equals queen. trying to look. This has something to do with opposition. Some of these move sequences do. Let me see. Queen d6 check. Queen d7. And then queen takes b6 check. That might be what I'm looking at. And then what'll happen here after we take queen takes b6, if the king goes to e7, queen c7 would be a pin. Queen takes b6. If king e8, then queen c6 is a pin as well. I'm thinking. Just want to make sure I'm not mistaken. Actually, there. Yeah, that would work because he couldn't catch it if the queen took. If the king tries to go to d7, the pawn runs. And the only problem, knight f5 check, she takes f5, queen g5 check, king h8, and I don't know what to actually do after king 8. That's kind of a when he pockets his king there, it's kind of a problem. Because the knight guards f6, where we would really want to go to e5 and f6. trying to see if I can't make it work. We do potentially have, we could potentially at this point, oops, not all that, I don't want all of it. At this point, we could play Queen H6, and then if Rook G1 to kind of cover. We do have Rook G, G8, Rook G8, I mean. We do potentially have Rook E7. Rook E7 is playable, but I'm just not sure. Maybe we can set up Queen G5. Queen G5 might be an interesting idea. The only problem though is I think he has F6 to attack our queen and push it back. I'm just thinking. Oh boy. I'll be right back, 1 second. queen g5 like our idea. We play rook takes, and then after this we play rook g1, because what happens, and then we just take this rook. The whole basis on that, we'll go over it, is this. After takes, there, knight takes, takes. We take here because we have to remove one of the guards, because if we tried going G1 right away, he's got the two doubled rooks, and they support each other. But if we can remove one of the pairs of rooks, and we play rook G1, there's no way to stop mate. Even if he plays here, it's mate. He potentially could try here, sacrifice all of his pieces, but I don't really think that. And then we still get mate. And queen b8 basically hold. And then we play rook. You could actually play either rook g, which is probably a better move. This move here is best because it covers these two squares. Oh, you want to see what the difference between knight f5 and knight 1 is? I think it guards the h. See, this move here guards this. And let's see, does it actually matter? Let's see. Yeah, king h8 at that point, and that's a draw. He doesn't have to take, but if he does take, I think it sets up for the same exact thing. King h8, and it takes, and there. So yeah, the same. The thing I was wondering is, why didn't he just play king h8 right now? But I think it's because of knight d6. That's the reason. First of all, after that, you would want to take with the rook, take, and then play knight. Knight d6. It's all based on the threat of this fork. We have to always keep those in our piggyback. Let's see here. Let me see here. Oh boy. I don't remember this very vaguely. I remember this. Let me see here. I'm trying to set up for a potential mate somehow. Maybe knight d5. I'm looking at knight d5 here. If rook takes, e3, knight b6, check. We have king d8. We have rook king d8. Maybe knight takes d7. King takes d7. No, I think that this would be a bad move. I'm gonna reconsider actually throwing down my rook in that line. Rook h8 check, rook e8, and then rook takes e8, rook takes e8, check, queen takes e8, and then with the rook and knight protection, I'd probably play d7 check. So I'm just thinking something similar to that to get some activity. But then the queen would actually take on d7, and we then would be able to play rook takes d7 and potentially go for some sort of an attack, but I don't know if it's winning. I think it's basically equal at that point, but you never know. You may get a opportunity. Oh, rook 8. Oh man, I can't believe that. If I played rook h8, the bishop takes. Ooh, that's bad. That's bad of me right there. Not good. I can't actually play rook h8 here. That'd be a mistake. I missed that bishop takes h8 right there. Bishop takes h8, and that stops everything. I think I have it. Queen takes e8 check. Queen takes e8 check. Queen takes e8. Rook h. Oh wait, we can't do rook h. That's right. The bishop. Tried. I was hoping to trade off my. That's actually. I'm thinking that you're right. Why be fancy with a7 would work, huh? Because we have to always take into consideration knight d5. If c takes d5, rook rook c1 check, and then king to b8, and we don't really have anything after that. But Queen A7 is actually an immediate threat. Queen A7 is an immediate threat. He'd have to move his king. Queen A7, King D8, Queen A8 check, Queen to C8 forced, Queen takes C8, King takes C8, and then D7 check, and that picks up a rook. Actually, if Queen A7, Queen G8, we have Queen to A8 check. That's your right. King D7, Queen takes B7 check. King D8, and Queen C. Not Queen C7. Queen B7, I believe. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Queen B. You're right. Yep, you got it. Oh no. That's different. I wonder why that doesn't work right away. What are we missing? Ah, that's the reason. Rook here. Oh, that, I should have seen that. That frees up this square here. I should have seen that. I just wondered why that move worked. And then now this would work here. Because when he takes, now even though he checks, this is free for our king to go to. Okay, now I understand why it worked. To free up h7, queen comes in, and then we take. Then we come up. There we go. F4. King D3, King F3, Rook H4, Rook H. So maybe when we go F4, we might play Rook H4 or H8. Then we have King to G4, and if Rook G8 check, we have King H3, and then we could push the pawn down the board. I'll give you a second to take a look to see if my calculation's right, and if not, put in some. So do you have any other comments on this? Let's make sure my internet's working okay. Hold on, we'll make sure that everything's Operation Go. Okay. Thinking that we're kind of stuck with king to f4. So king f6, h there. Yeah. Oh, don't tell me. Really? You're kidding. This? What is it? Huh. I guess I don't want to guess. Oh, king here. Oh. Oops. Sorry. Not there? Huh. No? Not. Huh, this is odd. What am I? Oh, straight down? That's different. Hold on, let me, so here. That's right. Hmm. Let me see here. Okay. thinking here. So you queen h4. There's f6 at that point. Oh, the Greek gift. Let's take a look. Takes h7 check. King takes h7. Queen h4. We'll give it a shot because I think that might work. Now we have to oh, queen h4, and when the king, and then that's attacking the king and the knight, threatens mate. Oh, d3. Yeah, that would that'd be more playable, wouldn't it? Queen d3 check, huh? Yeah, that's it. That is interesting. And then if g6, then bishop takes g8 or d8. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Makes sense. King d1, rook takes e7, bishop c4, king a f king, a a1. Oh, wait a second, I have a better move here. No, that doesn't work. I was seeing if I couldn't play bishop d6, but then I remembered that d1 equals queen check, so we can't we don't have time for that. Oh, yeah, I guess that does work, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. That makes sense. Because then if he takes, we go king e2. Do we go king e2? Hold on, let me see. King c2, that threatens. King c2 threatens queening, and then we go to queen to a8. So no, king c2 is a mistake. Sorry, king c2 is a mistake because of rook e3. King c2 is a mistake. Rook e3, so that'd be a blunder. So king e2 is forced. It's the only way to hold e3. So king e2 is. Looking at this here. I'm looking potentially at queen d3 check, or knight e6, or knight takes h5. I think knight takes h5 is a mistake because knight takes h5, queen takes h5, g takes h5, and then bishop h6 check, and he picks up our bishop, I mean our queen. Well, that is interesting for sure. Queen d3 check. F5. Rook e7. Queen takes e7. Queen takes f5. If king h8, then knight g6 is a check and a fork. Oh, no? Wonder why the other one didn't work. Is it because of queen e f6? Ah. It wins the let's see here. Yeah, I'm looking at rook takes a5, bishop f3. I think at this point we can't play bishop takes g2 because bishop f3 and bishop takes f3, queen takes f3. I don't think that would be very good playable. So king takes g2, king takes g2, queen g5, check, king. Well, maybe it would. Maybe that is the only move. I might be wrong, because if we take with, are we up a pawn in that line? Because if we play king takes g2, king takes g2, queen, okay. Oh, bishop takes, there we go. Alright, that's why he intercepted there. You gotta be happy that we've seen it before, because then we get to do it if we got it wrong, and if we got it right, we get to reinforce the habits of getting it right. So everything should be happy. I'm looking at a Greek gift here. I'm trying to see if a Greek gift could arise here. Bishop takes h7, check, king takes h7, queen h5, check, bishop h6, and then bishop e3. Because we can't play the queen h5, because knight goes to g6 at that point, and he shuts everything down. We could potentially, though, play bishop takes e5. Bishop takes e5 is interesting. Rook takes e5. Then we may have queen h5 at that point. Maybe. Let's see if so bishop takes f7, king takes f7, queen h5, king g8, queen takes. No, we don't really acquire much in that line. The knight's still there. So I think we have to remove the knight. I think we have to kind of get the knight out of its comfort zone. Because bishop takes h7, check. King takes h7, queen h5, check, king g8, queen takes g5, and then knight g6. And so the knight, I think we win with the rook, but we have to remove the knight first. So I'm thinking potentially maybe bishop takes e5, rook takes e5, queen h5, fc3, queen takes h7 mate. Let's see. Bishop. Oh, the Greek sacrifice works now. Bishop h7. King takes h7. Queen takes f7. Check. King h8. Queen takes f8. Check. And then we mate him. Yep. How are we doing on our time? Just want to make sure. Perfect. Could do a couple more puzzles, and then I want to finish off on a Ray Robinson versus Hikaru Nakamura game. Knight takes f2. F bishop e1. Knight h3, check. G takes h3. Queen Queen g5, check. King h1. Interesting. Knight takes f2, rook takes f2, queen takes check, and we pick up a lot of material. So like knight takes f2, if rook takes f2, queen takes f2, king h1. Queen takes e2. Queen takes a6. Well, if knight takes f2, bishop f3. Ooh, wow. Yeah, that would be a problem, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Nice work there, economy. Yeah, that does work. Knight takes f2, bishop f3, rook takes f3, if g takes f3, queen g3, check, king h1, and then queen h2 is mate. Let's go with it. I think we grab the bishop here, don't we? Queen takes e2, right? Yeah, let's just grab the... Yeah, okay. We'll do one more, and then I'll do my Nakamura, and then I'll log out after that. Okay. Gotta love the Greek gifts for sure. I was looking at potentially queen g4, check. If king f1, do we have knight e4? I was just wondering about that. Oh, that's even better. So queen g4 check. Yeah. Let's play the first. Let's play the first move we know for sure. And then now we have to play like what you're saying. Rook. Oops. Rook h3. If f3, we have queen takes f3 check. If bishop f2, then we have rook h1, I believe is mate. And even if the queen intercepts on f2, rook h1's mate after that. Alrighty, we'll go over the Ray Robinson one versus Hikaru now. Alright, come on. Let's do it to it. Alrighty. E4, come on. Ray, we'll look at it from Hikaru's side. C5, knight f3, d3, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, and then knight f6. The modern variation of the Sicilian defense. So knight c3 and then g6. See, what in the modern system you're usually attacking with your pieces before you thrust in the center. So bishop e6, bishop e3, not e6. Rook g6, g7, rook g7, not rook, sorry, bishop g7, bishop g7, f3, castles, and queen d2 is really good playable move because Ray potentially has castling queenside for a kingside assault. Knight c6 was played by Nakamura to see if he can't, if Ray would trade, he'd be more than happy to open the B file for an attack on Ray. Bishop d7 and Ray castled. So rook b1, b8, with the potential idea of playing a6 and b, and maybe even taking and then playing b5. So bishop b4. He actually at this point played knight a5. You potentially could take here and then maybe play bishop and have b5 is a playable idea. Nakamura decided, Hikaru decided to basically keep his knights on the board, and by doing that he can play this here, but it does make it a target, so you have to be careful that you don't walk into a trap. Like you could Ray could actually have played here, and then if knight takes, bishop takes, now this pawn's playing and this knight's under fire. So you just got it. You have to always be on. It's the knight's not on pre because the queen guards it, so it's still okay. And at this point, Ray's trying to trade off Nakamura's good bishop on b7. Takes, and then b5. There we go, and up the board. Gary goes. H. We take with check, takes, and e5. This is if knight takes, queen takes, h4. Ray's trying to get the job done as quick as he can, because he knows that if you let Nakamura live long enough, he'll regroup and basically come and destroy you. So Ray's trying to, as they say, cut the head off of the serpent, as they say there, and then keep going. So h5, queen e7. That's the whole thing. You have to remember that if you have, my friends, the attack on your opponent, don't hold back. Just go all out and win. Don't, because you know what? You never know who you're facing. You could be facing a beginning Hikaru, and they'll find some way, if you make one small inaccurate move, to pull a draw, maybe, when you actually had a win coming. So h takes g6, f takes g6, queen e3. Yeah, Ray had to retreat his queen out of there. What I try to do now is get my battery going. Bishop e, rook f, h. I think he played too passive here. I'm thinking that maybe could we actually try getting this going. I'm kind of liking my my rook right here. I really would like to play active while my opponent is and then now we're basically in an equal position, but I think Ray played too passive with that move. You have to keep pushing. Don't let your guard down. Squeeze until there's no air left, and then you win. And then they have to resign or tap out. Queen c7. See how Nakamura is lining up his pieces? That's what Ray should have actually done on the H file. Just caused a lot of pain on that side, but he didn't do that. And now he's in full defense mode, or as Jeremy Silman calls it, reactive mode. a5, king b1, a4, king c1, b4. Wow, Hikaru's going for the sting. Rook d, and then pawn takes, rook takes, and oh, almost an Alekhine. I think this is it's almost an Alekhine gun. Almost. Rook f, kazing, takes. Now he's attacking. It almost works. This almost works here. Almost, very close. I think it does work. I think it gets the job done. Does this get the job done? Oh, I can actually take. Ah, not good. Okay. Retakes. Takes. Queen takes. Wow. Whole pawn up now. Nice tactic there. That was a sweet tactic. There's yeah. Don't let Nakamura get into his tactical mode. Whew. Wow. That's devastating of tactics right there. It's going up. And Ray resigned here. There's no way to stop this. Queen's actually now out of play. It can't come here to check. So a very well played game. Let me see here. How we doing? Time perfect. Do you have any questions on the game of Hikaru Nakamura versus Ray Robinson? Or Ray Robinson versus Hikaru Nakamura? Okay. Alrighty then. I will end on that and say adieu. Alright. Wanted to thank you all for logging on and helping. We're gonna get to our 2700 level marker pretty soon. We just have to stick it out, work together, and we'll get there. I fear not the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times, but I fear the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, but I fear not the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. That's what Bruce Lee said about his opponents, because when you do enough tactics, even though we see them sometimes over and over again, we're laying down reinforced wiring in our mind so that when we see something similar to that in our play, we'll be able to over the board produce something like that. And that's the whole goal of learning tactics. And we have to remember, life is about treasuring your victories and learning from your losses. That's the whole point of what Tom Thumb said. He's also said that remember that mistakes do not define you. It is how you handle the mistake that defines you. And Bruce Lee said there are no limits, there are plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond the plateau that you're at. And we're about ready to make that next jump. Every long journey, this is a quote from Grandmaster Yasser Seirawan. Every long journey begins with one small step. And we have to take what we know and then apply it and be willing to do something with it. And that's what we have to. That's our goal. And of course, we have my quote, which is, "Don't give up, get up." And we have to remember too that E. Nightingale says we become what we think about. So if you think positive thoughts, that will affect your day. Like when you start out, if you have positive thoughts, like thinking that, you know what, the Lord's good, the Lord, has my back and everything, and I trust in Him and all, and that type of positiveness, you'll your day will be better. But if you have like any grudges or anything and you're upset, it'll affect how you do the entire day. They call it getting up on the wrong side of the bed, but actually it's more attitude and a way of thinking when you first get up. And you can change that with just think positive, think on the Lord, and He'll help renew your joy in that area. It's not the easiest thing to do, to be positive, especially with everything that's going on. But we have to be positive because we're chess players. And I wanted to congratulate Hikaru Nakamura on his 5th U.S. championship. And again, Jennifer on being her victory over Christina Yip, and being the youngest, not youngest, but the women's U.S. champion as well. So congratulations to both of them on their achievements that they worked really hard to acquire. So, and someday, who knows, maybe with enough practice and enough dedication, we can be there too to participate. And also, that'd be cool. But we have to remember though that the fields that the Lord's given us, our talents, there was the 1, the 2, and the 5. The 1 was afraid to use their talent, but the 2 wasn't, and the 5 wasn't. And the 2 went out and made 2 more, and the 5 went out and made 5 more. And so when the master of the house, are the steward who gave them those talents, came to see what each one of his stewards have done with their talents, the one hid it in the earth and tried to make an excuse based that he was afraid that if he lost it, that the person who gave it to him, which was the lord of the manor, would be sad. But he says, you could have just, why didn't you do anything with it? You just buried it. And so he took the 1 from the person and told him to leave, and he gave it to the 5 who created another 5, and so he had 11 to work with. And some would say that that's unfair, but you know what? If you're given a task to do and you don't do the task that you're supposed to do, what can that person trust you? That's the whole thing. That's why we have to show ourselves to be approved, so that, like, you know what, when when most of your friends, I'm going to apply it to our situation as a chess player, when most of our friends or family members or whoever are doing other things, even though we want to do those things, remember, how bad do you want to progress in your chess? You can be a chess cruncher, and you'll be studying, and then your family or friends will come over and ask, "Come on over to this." No, you could say, "I'm a chess cruncher," and they'll ask you, "What's a chess cruncher?" Or if they already know, they'll be like, "Oh," you can always say, "I'm gonna do the Tigger thing." A chess cruncher, what do they do? We hang up our coat, we hang up our hat, we sit down and study when most won't. We do, and that makes all the difference. And so you never know. You may reach somebody who will be interested in chess, and maybe you can even talk to them about the Lord. So that's good too, as well. So, and well, I'll leave you with that. And as Wesley So says, to the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, evening, and Lord willing, I'll be back on, and we'll shoot for our 2700 level marker and keep progressing to get better and better. And if you're new and you've watched and you like what you see, click follow on Chess Cruncher TV and join us on our journey to becoming greater in chess and honoring the Lord. We say this through. We also want you to improve as well. And remember, we always have to keep pushing forward and never settling for second best, but first. And I'll see you next time, okay? So be blessed and keep studying chess. And this is from Big Daddy. Hoorah, be blessed, chess crunchers, and keep chess crunching always. Bye bye.